For much of the early EV boom, the industry followed a clear and deliberate strategy. Start expensive. Automakers launched premium electric vehicles first, packed with advanced features, long-range batteries, large displays, and high price tags. This approach made sense at the time. Battery costs were high, production volumes were limited, and early adopters were willing to pay a premium to be part of something new. Selling expensive models helped offset risk, absorb inefficiencies, and fund further development. For a while, that strategy worked. But today, cheaper EV models are increasingly taking center stage, and this shift is not driven by idealism or sudden concern for affordability. It is the result of hard business logic shaped by demand realities, cost structures, competition, and long-term market sustainability. The move toward lower-priced EVs represents a critical turning point in how the industry thinks about growth. The most important force behind this shift is demand elasticity. Early EV buyers were not typical car buyers. They were motivated by novelty, environmental values, brand loyalty, and interest in cutting-edge technology. Price mattered, but it was not the deciding factor. These buyers tolerated higher costs, unfamiliar charging routines, and experimental features because they wanted to be early. As EVs move into the mass market, that buyer profile changes completely. Mainstream consumers compare EVs directly with gasoline and hybrid vehicles. They look at monthly payments, insurance costs, charging convenience, resale value, and total cost of ownership. They are not comparing one EV to another. They are comparing an EV to the car they already understand. When EV prices remain significantly higher, adoption slows quickly. Automakers have learned that demand for EVs is far more price-sensitive than early sales data suggested.
Automakers can no longer rely on consumers to absorb high battery costs indefinitely. Designing cheaper EVs forces tighter integration, smaller battery packs, more efficient platforms, and careful trade-offs. These changes are not about cutting corners. They are about aligning costs with what the market will actually pay. The 2026 slowdown also exposed saturation at the high end of the market. Many consumers who wanted premium EVs already bought them. Growth now depends on reaching buyers who prioritize affordability, practicality, and reliability over cutting-edge technology. Cheaper EVs are aimed squarely at this next wave of demand. Without them, growth stalls. Government incentives reinforce this strategy. Many US tax credits and state-level incentives favor vehicles below specific price thresholds. Automakers that price EVs too high risk losing eligibility, which immediately weakens demand. Designing EVs to qualify for incentives effectively lowers consumer prices without destroying margins. Cheaper EVs are often better aligned with incentive structures. Operational learning has matured as well. After years of EV production, automakers understand where costs can be reduced without harming core functionality. Features that sounded impressive during early launches proved unnecessary for most buyers. Large touchscreens, experimental interfaces, complex software layers, and excessive customization increased cost and failure rates. Cheaper EVs benefit from this learning by focusing on what customers actually use every day. Consumer expectations have shifted in parallel. Buyers now prioritize reliability, ease of ownership, and total cost of ownership over novelty. A simpler EV that works consistently is more attractive than a feature-packed model plagued by software issues or unpredictable behavior. Automakers are responding by simplifying designs, reducing complexity, and emphasizing durability. Competition from hybrids has forced this adjustment. Hybrids offer efficiency gains without charging concerns, often at lower prices. For many buyers, hybrids feel like a safer, more flexible choice. To compete effectively, EVs must close the affordability gap. Betting on cheaper EVs is a defensive response to strong hybrid demand in the US market. Supply chain stability also matters. Premium EVs rely on high-spec components that are more vulnerable to shortages and price swings. Cheaper EVs often use standardized parts, proven platforms, and simpler configurations. This reduces risk and improves production consistency. In an environment where reliability matters as much as growth, that stability is valuable. From a profitability standpoint, cheaper EVs are not about accepting low margins. They are about stabilizing volume. Selling fewer high-margin vehicles proved risky when demand softened. Selling more moderately priced vehicles supports steadier revenue, better factory utilization, and healthier long-term economics. Volume discipline is replacing margin optimism. Fleet demand strengthens this trend. Fleets care about cost, uptime, and predictability. Cheaper EVs fit fleet economics far better than premium models. As fleet adoption grows across delivery, services, and municipal use, automakers adjust strategies to match that demand. Importantly, betting on cheaper EVs does not mean abandoning innovation. It means reallocating it. Innovation shifts away from flashy features and toward efficiency, manufacturing optimization, platform reuse, and cost control. This type of innovation is quieter but far more impactful at scale. Why automakers are betting on cheaper EVs after a 2026 slowdown ultimately comes down to realism. The market sent a clear signal. Premium-first strategies have limits. Growth depends on affordability, not aspiration alone. In 2026, EV adoption is no longer driven by excitement and early enthusiasm. It is driven by economics. Automakers that align pricing with real consumer behavior are positioning themselves for the next phase of growth. Cheaper EVs are not a retreat from electrification. They are an adjustment. A recognition that mass adoption requires meeting consumers where they are, not where the industry hoped they would be. The slowdown did not end the EV transition. It refined it. And the shift toward cheaper EVs reflects a more mature, disciplined approach to building the electric future in the US.